Hey, what's up? What's up to all my faithful viewers and anybody else that's watching? Well, instead of being outside, now I'm kind of in the place where I usually make videos when I'm at home, in the bed, or sitting down. That is because, hey Charlie, what's up? Hey Jason, hey, good to see you, Jason. We were just thinking about I was just thinking about the good old days when y'all used to play baseball on my brother's team, and all the jokes and all the cutting up we used to do. We used to come over and see me and my brother. Well, I'm in here because the fact is, well, my battery is low. So, in order for me to do live videos right now, my phone has to be on the charger. I could go outside and show you the water and show you the beach and just sit up on the deck. But I seem to have a little problem getting there's a plug outside, but it's closed. I think it's inside the little door. It's covered up, so you can't expose that stuff outside, especially when it's raining. And there's no way I can get it open. So I'm coming in here to charge this phone up. And also right now I have an auntie who will be coming, who's on her way down here. Hey Barb, what's up? Hey, good to see you. You're gonna have to come down to Florida when I move down here. You're gonna have to come visit me. You can come stay at my house. I don't know what part I'll be moving yet, but now I won't get to live as close to the water probably like my mom and dad will, but I'll live within distance. Who knows where I'll be at? Because well, let's see. I know one thing. When I do move down here, I will not be shopping at Publix. Grocery store, the prices are just unreal. But that's what Mom and Dad have close to their house right now. I told them, well, let's go to Walmart, because I work at Walmart. I'm going to drag their butts to Walmart, but Walmart's kind of far for them to drive. Oh, yeah, I'll be down here. I just, I'm either going to move to Orlando, Miami. I want to go to Miami. That's where all the action is, but the worst thing about Miami is, one, the hurricanes are worse. It's below sea level. It's more apt to get flooded. And number two, everything costs so much down there. High cost of living. As we know, I'm on housing assistance. The thing is, one person can make up to $30,000 a year and still have housing assistance, still keep Section 8. But the reason is because it costs so much money to live down there. If you live around the Miami area, if you live right in the city, for $1,000 a month, you can get a 2-bedroom apartment that's crappy. Basically, it's what you're going to get for $1,000. You're going to get a 2-bedroom apartment in a crappy neighborhood. And the place is going to be falling apart. You're not going to have a swimming pool. Yeah. Basically, I can say this, I guess Miami is where all the action is. That's probably where a lot of us want to move to. But be honest with you, Miami's for the rich and famous. Oh yes, I do research all the time. Orlando's, okay. Yeah, this is what's funny about Florida. I think I've mentioned it a lot of times. The cost of living varies so much here in Florida. It's like Miami, like I said, is the most expensive area. Palm Beach particularly, that's where all the rich live. That's where that stupid golf course is, Mar-a-Lago. As we all know, Donald Trump's golf course. That's where Trump goes on the weekends to play his golf. So, let's see. This is what I am noticing about Florida. it seems like a lot of the expensivest counties, a lot of expensivest areas to live is along the East Coast. You know, St. Augustine's expensive. There's Palm Beach. There's Miami, Key West. Now, as far as the the Gulf side is another story. You know, like I said, Mom and Dad are talking about how things are expensive around here. But that's because this is an expensive area. And I have to say, probably the lowest cost of living that you're going to get along the East Coast is Daytona, New Smyrna Beach, Titusville. And the reason why it probably don't cost so much money is because New Smyrna Beach is the shark attack capital of the nation. If you want to go swim, if you want to get in the beach water and you want to get bit by a shark, go ahead and go there. I know it can't cost, I know it said it didn't cost much to live there. And Titusville, they have someplace there called Mosquito Lagoon. Now, I don't know if I like the sound of that. Because, man, if you want mosquitoes, move there. I think they call it Mosquito Lagoon for a reason. And they said there's someplace called Melbourne Beach. It's down toward, it doesn't cost too much. But it ain't just really even the cost of living. It's not just the cost of living, but it's just going to the store, buying food, buying groceries, everything. That actually hurts more than your rent and your LG&E. Water around here is pretty expensive. The water bill. I don't know why the water is so high. Now, while it's expensive over there, there's counties here in Florida that are also, where the cost of living is so low that you can't make over $16,000 a year to get rental assistance. Like, there's a county around where my mom and dad used to live. And it's like my check, and plus the way I be working sometimes, Of course, down here, there's going to be more work than Kentucky, I'd lose it real quick. I don't think I'd want to live where I could only make 16 grand. And there's not much to do in those counties either. And of course, a lot of those places where the housing's cheap and everything, you could get you a pretty nice house with a pool and everything for less than $200,000. For $100,000, maybe $150,000, you could get you a pretty decent house. But that's where my mom and dad used to live, and there really wasn't too much to do. But I'll tell you what else they used to get. You buy a house there in the neighborhood, and you would get you a free, some kind of membership to one of the country clubs. And it don't cost much to go to a country club. You think a country club is for rich people, but actually, anybody can join a country club. You could even be, what do you call it? You could be living on the edge and still get to join a country club. Yeah. But, yeah, there's places like there, and Winter Haven, I've heard a lot of people live there and claim, I know it don't cost much to live there. Fort Myers ain't too bad. But of course, when you get over there, you're going to have a problem with alligators and snakes. In fact, I'm trying to look for somebody in Fort Myers. There's some people that used to live across the street from us in Cincinnati, my brother's friends. I know they still live down there. So I'm really trying to find them. I don't have much time left up here, but I know when we come down here, I come down here to visit again. Hey, that'd be cool to see if these people, they could meet up with these people. We haven't seen them in years. But we haven't seen them since they moved down here, the Casters. But let me see. Then there's the Forgotten Coast, the St. George's Island. There's areas around there where the cost of living's low. And of course, there's places like Perry, Florida that really stink and got an outdated sewer system. And their cost of living is going to be probably low for a good reason. So it's not worth really living there. And Tallahassee don't probably cost much. Panama City, anywhere along that panhandle maybe. Now Pensacola, it might be a little high, but places where there's a lot of tourism, it's going to have a higher cost of living. And I have to say though, I will say that out of a lot of the states here in the southeast, out of all the states in the southeast part of the country, though, Florida is probably the most expensive place because it is more populated. The economy is way better than a lot of the places, and there's more people. Just like I said, you've got counties that have low cost of living, and you've got counties with the high cost of living. So that's what I have to research on, but it ain't just really the housing, but also I am concerned about the mental health services. I want to know what kind of mental health services. The mental health services and healthcare services in a certain area is pretty good. If I may have to pay more to live somewhere, and maybe a little more just because I got this stuff, got this and that, it's well worth it, especially when there's more to do. See, another thing I'm concerned about too is economics, free stuff, maybe. Places that got free stuff, I guess. But there's places all over Tampa and St. Petersburg that give out free food, free everything. But I'm saying, places are just. I'm actually going to check in. I don't know if I should. I ain't going to mention it right now. I won't mention it right now. Let's see, even though. Mom and Dad said the groceries are just high around here. And even though, they're not down and out, I would like to find a place around here that gives out free produce and free stuff and doesn't look at your income. So, like, my mom and dad are really rich, but, as much as they charge for stuff, this is the nearest store they have is Publix, I'm sure they probably wouldn't mind going to get free food, free groceries. So I'm going to be checking into that on here. Let me see what else I'm saying. But yeah, the reason I'm in here is because I got to charge my phone up. Charging my phone up. In fact, let me tell you about these phones. It's like I was taking a lot of pictures so I didn't get to do a lot of videos while I'm out. When I was over, I went to the Marine Science Museum where it would not let me do any live videos. It just let me take photos. And then I've been going along A1A. I've been going along the Atlantic Shore Boulevard, or whatever it is, taking pictures of weekly stay motels for people, because I got a lot of people, asking me about what kind of places there are to stay in Daytona, and that brings me to my next topic. But I'm gonna get ready and post something about that, because I think it's like a lot of these weekly stay motels, they have a monopoly going on, because they're all the same price. I don't know if it's a monopoly or if it's like the Thunder Over Louisville and festivals where they tell the vendors that everybody has to charge the same prices for everything. They can't set their own prices. Now, I don't know if they did that here in Daytona with these weekly stays. Especially, I don't know if you got with the housing crisis right now. We got a lot of homeless people out here, and which means you're going to have probably a lot of people staying in those weekly motels. They're just not staying there, but they actually live in there. I mean, that's reality of everything. Because there was actually a place. I know that no people do this, places are like this for a fact, because there was a place like that in Myrtle Beach where they hardly did not have a vacancy. They didn't have a, they didn't see, they had certain ones that they had open as regular hotel rooms. They would not rent them out by the week for people to live in. But the places that people were renting out, I mean, they had no vacancy in 2 years. None. And, you know, that could have been going on along. That's what could have been going on in Daytona. But that's just the reality of it. I don't know who all's on here, but, you know, I ain't trying to be boring, but I'm just giving an update about this. You know, I didn't get many videos because I was taking photos, and plus my juice just got used up real quick. You know, I practically ran all the way down to 15%, so I couldn't do no videos coming back. But I took quite a few photos that I'm getting ready to post right now. So stay tuned for some photos, and stay tuned for my next part once this phone is charged up. Peace.